Welcome to Season 2 of SEO Deep Dive by Map Rank Hack. This season, we decode what's holding your rankings back, reveal hidden growth levers, and explore where Google Maps is heading next. Let's dive deeper.
Hey, we're digging into something pretty important for businesses trying to get seen online.
Yeah, we're looking at fake or, let's say, misleading business addresses in local SEO, specifically on Google Maps here in the US.
And look, we know you're busy. You want the core info without wading through tons of articles.
Right. So think of this as your shortcut to understanding why this shady stuff happens and, well, what the real consequences are.
Our mission for this deep dive, basically understand the risks, the ethics of using fake addresses.
And more importantly, learn the right ways, the compliance strategies to actually improve your local SEO.
We're pulling from a report on the impact of these fake addresses.
And also building on some things we've discussed before about local SEO traps. So it's a full picture.
Okay, let's get into it. I mean, it sounds obviously bad, right? Faking an address. But why? Why are businesses tempted?
Well, a big part of it is often about wanting to look like you're based in a really prime location, the high rent districts.
Without paying the actual high rent.
Exactly, projecting presence without the cost. And then there's trying to manipulate the rankings.
Like trying to show up everywhere.
Sort of, yeah. It's sometimes called address stuffing, listing multiple addresses, maybe in different neighborhoods, hoping to pop up in more local searches.
So digitally trying to be in multiple places at once, what kind of tactics do they actually use?
Oh, there's a few common ones, like using virtual offices but having no staff actually there.
Just an address?
Yeah.
But no real operation?
Precisely. Then you get fabricated locations, and this can mean using, say, a residential address.
Someone's house?
Yeah, or even, believe it or not, just making up an address entirely.
Making up an address. Wow, that's bold. And risky, I imagine.
Extremely risky. Another big one is service area businesses misusing home addresses.
How so? I thought they could use a home address for verification.
They can for verification only. But the address is generally supposed to be hidden on the public listing. So showing it publicly, especially without any business signage, that's usually a violation. And definitely creating multiple listings using different employees' homes, that's a major red flag for Google.
Okay, got it. What about things like P.O. boxes? Can you use those?
No, Google's very strict on that. P.O. boxes, rented mailboxes at places like UPS stores, they aren't acceptable for your Google business profile address.
Even if you try and make it look like a suite number?
Doesn't matter. If it's just a mailbox, it's not a place you actually conduct business from with staff and signage. It doesn't count.
Right. And co-working spaces, they seem like a gray area.
They can be tricky, yeah. You can use a co-working space address, but there are specific rules. Really specific.
Such as?
You need your own dedicated private office space there, not just a shared desk. You need a clear, permanent signage for your business.
Okay.
You need your own staff present during your listed business hours. And you must be able to actually receive your clients there.
So just using it as a fancy mailing address is out?
Definitely out. That's non-compliant.
Okay, so the temptation is there, but it sounds like walking a tightrope.
Yeah.
How does Google actually figure this stuff out? How do they detect these fake addresses?
Well, remember Google's local algorithm. It focuses on relevance, distance, and prominence.
Right.
Fake addresses are a clear attempt to manipulate that distance factor, right? Making Google think you're closer to searchers than you are.
So how do they catch it?
They have quite a few verification methods now, and they're getting smarter.
I remember the postcard thing. They mail you a code.
That's still definitely one method, yes. Postcard verification. But they also use phone or SMS verification, email verification too.
Okay.
And increasingly video verification. They might ask you to record a video walking around your premises, showing signage, tools of the trade, that kind of thing.
Wow, really?
Yep. Or even do a live video call with a Google rep to show them around. And sometimes, if you're already verified in Google Search Console, you might get instant verification for your business profile. It's layered.
That sounds pretty thorough. So if Google does catch you, what happens then? What's the penalty?
It can really hurt your visibility. You might get filtered out of the local pack, the map results at the top.
The prime spot everyone wants.
Exactly. Remember the Possum update years ago? That was partly about filtering out listings that look suspicious, like multiple businesses at one fake address.
Okay.
But it can get worse. Your listing could be suspended temporarily or even permanently.
Right.
Google might even suspend your whole Google account that manages the business profiles. And the worst case, complete removal from Google Maps and local search.
And you lose everything. Reviews, photos.
Everything associated with that listing. Gone. All that history, all that social proof.
That's a massive blow. And it's not just Google's reaction, right?
Oh.
What about actual customers?
Absolutely. Trust is huge. If someone looks you up, goes to your listed address, and finds, well, nothing, or just a mailbox store,
They're going to be annoyed or feel
Right.
tricked.
Exactly. It damages your reputation instantly. And what do unhappy people do?
Leave bad reviews.
You got it. Negative reviews. And they might even report the listing to Google as inaccurate, which just speeds up the process of getting caught.
So it seems like all the experts would pretty much say, just don't do it.
Overwhelmingly, yes. The consensus is clear. Avoid fake addresses. Google's detection is improving all the time.
It's just not a sustainable strategy.
Not at all. It's a gamble, and the odds are increasingly stacked against you. Plus, ethically, it's misrepresenting your business, creating unfair competition. It undermines the whole system.
Okay, so let's pivot to the right way. For a business that wants to do this correctly, what are the best practices for managing their address in local SEO?
Right. So if you have a physical storefront, a place customers actually visit.
Like a shop or an office?
Exactly. Use your complete exact physical address, suite number, floor, everything. Make absolutely sure your NFP name, address, phone number is identical everywhere online.
Consistency is key.
Crucial. And have permanent visible signage at your location. Plus, double check that your map pin on Google Maps is dropped in the precise spot.
Makes sense. What about those service area businesses? Plumbers, electricians, people who go to the customer.
For them, the main thing is to hide their physical address on their Google business profile. You use it for verification, but it shouldn't be public.
Okay.
Instead, you clearly define your service area in the profile settings, the towns, counties, or radius you cover, and absolutely no listing virtual offices or P.O. boxes as your address.
Got it. And circling back to co-working spaces for those who might use them legitimately.
Just follow those strict rules we talked about. Dedicated office, clear signage, your staff present during business hours, and the ability to actually meet clients there. If you can't tick all those boxes, don't use that address.
So, no, just using it as a mail drop.
Definitely not. And again, for everyone, that NAP consistency across the web is non-negotiable.
Beyond just the address, what are the positive, legitimate things businesses should focus on for local SEO?
Oh, plenty. Fully optimize your Google business profile. Fill out every section accurately. Photos, services, Q&A.
Keep it fresh.
Exactly. Encourage customer reviews and, importantly, respond to them. Create useful local content blog posts about local events, guides, things relevant to your community.
Build local connections.
Yes. Build local citations on reputable directories. Engage with your local community, online and offline. It's about building genuine visibility, not shortcuts.
So the bottom line really couldn't be much clearer, could it?
Nope. Faking your location. It's far more likely to get you penalized and damage your reputation than give you any kind of lasting boost.
And that co-working space scenario needs real attention to detail.
Absolutely. Make sure you meet all the guidelines if you go that route. No cutting corners.
It really boils down to building trust and visibility the right way. Through genuine engagement, accurate information.
Not by trying to find some clever loophole that'll probably backfire anyway.
Exactly. So here's something to chew on as you go about your day. We rely so much on Google Maps, on local search, right? How much does the accuracy or inaccuracy of that location data shape the trust we place in the businesses we find online?
It's a fundamental question for the digital age, isn't it?
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Thanks for diving deeper with us. For more cutting-edge tips that actually hack the map rank, follow the show and join us again. Until then, stay sharp, stay local, and stay ahead.